Alright, let us talk about the Consumer Protection Bill 2019. What are the key provisions? The CPB aims to protect consumer interests through a redressal mechanism that would ensure timely and effective settlement of disputes. It seeks to enlarge the scope of the existing law and make it more effective and purposeful. It seeks to establish a central consumer protection authority to protect consumer rights and look into the issues related to false or misleading advertisements. It has provisions for post-litigation stage mediation as an alternative dispute resolution mechanism. It also provides for a product liability action. Now let us talk about the CPB penalties. The bill provides for a fine and ban on celebrities for endorsing misleading advertisement. And we saw the fine which was imposed on Amitabh Bachchan when the Maggi noodles were found to be full of material which was not edible. In the case of first offence, the penalty would include a fine of up to rupees 10 lakh and a 1-year ban on any endorsement. For the second offence, the penalty would include a fine of 50 lakh and a 3-year ban on endorsements. For manufacturers and companies, the penalties would be up to 10 lakhs and up to 2 years of jail term for the first offence. For any subsequent offence, the manufacturers and companies would have to pay a fine of 50 lakhs and serve a jail term of 5 years. The bill also provides for penalty up to a life-term jail sentence in case of adulteration. Now, Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission or the CDRCS will be set up at 3 levels, that is the district, state and national level. A consumer can file a complaint with the CDRC in relation to unfair or restrictive trade practice, defective goods or services, overcharging or deceptive charging, the offering of goods or services for sale which may be hazardous to life and safety. Complaints against an unfair contract can only be filed with the state and national appeals from a district CDRC and will be heard by the state CDRC. Appeals from state CDRC will be heard by the national CDRC. The final appeal lies before the Supreme Court. Now, what do you mean by the jurisdiction of CDRC? The district CDRC or the Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission will entertain complaints where the value of goods and services does not exceed rupees 1 crore. The state Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission or the CDRC will entertain complaints when the value is more than 1 crore but does not exceed 10 crore. Complaints with the value of goods and services over rupees 10 crore will be entertained by the national CDRC. Now let us talk about the product liability. A product liability means the liability of a product manufacturer, service provider or seller to compensate a consumer for any harm or injury caused by a defective good or a deficient service. To claim compensation, a consumer has to provide any one of the conditions for defect or deficiency as given in the bill. Now, what are the rights? 1. The right to file a complaint from anywhere. According to this new right, consumers can now file a complaint with the DCC or State Consumer Commission from anywhere, that is home, office, or while on a weekend trip. Presently, the consumers are required to file a case only at the place where the product was manufactured or where the seller of the product has his registered office. But now you can file your complaint from anywhere. Also, you can have electronic filing of complaints, and they will specify norms for paying the fees digitally. This, of course, will reduce the harassment of consumers to a great extent. Second, the right to seek compensation under product liability. Any complainant can file a case against the manufacturer or seller of a product for any loss caused to the complainant on account of defective product, which applies to all services. If there is a manufacturing defect or the product in question does not conform to the express warranty, the manufacturer or the seller will be held liable. This provision brings e-commerce under its ambit. The next right is right to protect consumers as a class. If you have a complaint that relates to violation of consumer rights or unfair trade practices or misleading advertisement that are prejudicial to the interests of the consumers as a class, you can do two things. 1. Forward the complaint in writing or in an electronic mode to the district collector or the commissioner of regional office or the Central Consumer Protection Authority for class action. Right to seek a hearing using video conferencing. According to this, any complaint will be presented before the district commission based on an affidavit and documentary evidence placed before it. If an application has been forwarded by a consumer for hearing through a video conferencing, the commission can allow for this provision. We have one more right, that is right to know why a complaint was rejected. No commission can reject a complaint without hearing the complainant. The commission, in fact, must decide about admitting or rejecting a complaint within 21 days, by which, if it is not decided, then the complaint is deemed to have been admitted.